What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Forgo. And today we're back with some more Punishing Gray Raven, and there's two different topics that I'd like to talk about today. The first being is, do you want to play with a controller? Because if you're interested in using a controller, if you have a PC, then you might want to try Mumu Play Emulator. Now, I've been playing on this emulator for the last, well, I got about 7 hours invested time in the emulator. 3 hours here, about 4 hours in another period. Just solid. It never lagged. I didn't have any input delay issues. It never crashed. I never had any problems. And this is Mumu Play Global. And if you are interested in this, this is actually what the site is going to look like. I'll put the link down in the description below. And all you got to do is click on Punishing Gray Raven, download it, open your file, install the game or install the emulator to your PC, and then go from there. Now, this thing says 120 FPS. And I know on some systems they're able to do the 120 FPS. But on mine, it just won't do it. For some reason, whatever, I don't know why. But I have an i7 CPU. I have a 2070 Max-Q GPU on my laptop. It's a pretty powerful little laptop, but it doesn't work for me for whatever reason. But even 60 FPS is more than enough. It's very, very good for the gameplay. It's very smooth. This thing seems to play very, very well and have no problems. Now, the only caveat to using a controller is, you know, as many of you know, and Punishing Gray Raven, there's a lot of buttons. You have, you know, your buttons for your characters that you're going to be switching. You have 2 characters. Then you have your basic attack, your dodge, and you have your signature move. And you also have 8 orbs that you have to have a button for each of those orbs. And if you all would like to see a video about me mapping those, how I map them on my controller, I'd be happy to do that. But I just wanted to give you guys my feedback after 7 hours of gameplay using this emulator for this game. This thing plays amazing, and as you can see, it looks absolutely beautiful. I have the graphics all the way up. I have the graphics all the way up to max settings, guys. It's all the way on ultra, right? It's kind of confusing me because my monitor's over here, right? So I got to keep looking over here to look at my monitors for whenever I'm putting my mouse on something. But I wanted to give you guys my feedback on this, man. I really think this emulator is awesome. And again, if you have a PC and you want to try it, man, try downloading this thing and see if it works. I hear that the Mumu Chinese emulator is actually better, better response time, less input delay, but I don't really seem to be having a problem. Again, I played it for about 7 hours, and I'm going to continue to play using my controller because I really think this game, it just suits it, right? And this is an F310 Logitech controller. The emulator will also work with Xbox controllers and PS4 controllers if you have those available to you. And now for the next topic at hand, which is Memory Rescue that I completed today. So we'll go to Challenges, Memory Rescue, and I was able to do Catherine today using this controller. It was definitely very difficult because I'm just not used to using the controller at all. I'm not used to the configuration on it, trying to remember where, like what the orbs are, which button I need to push for which orb on the screen. It's really difficult to try to remember all this. And Catherine really isn't the easiest boss of them all. I know Aphie is a real nightmare. I did jump in and try her a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But Catherine's what I've done so far. Now, they recommend 2880 BP, but as many of you know in this game, depending on your skill, it's really going to depend on how well you can do. Now, my characters are, you know, my BP is 2545. My Lucia here is a rank S character. Now, I did use the completely free-to-play team. These are all the free-to-play characters that we get. I haven't spent any money in this game. All the memories that I have, all the weapons that I have are just what they gave me in the game as I progressed through it, right? All the rewards that we've gotten so far. I haven't done any pulls in the banner except for a character, and that's it. No, none for weapons, none for memories, nothing like that. And my Lucia's memories, you can see what we have on here. We have the Irwin set, we have the Aphie set, and then we have this Voltaire set, which is actually amazing. And then as far as her weapons here, we are using the 4-star weapon here with level 30. And then her coding is this right here. That isn't adding any stats whatsoever. And then we got B-Liv here, which I set her up really to help me with my heals. We do have these Alice memories, which is really going to help that heal. Then we have this basic attack damage increased by 5%. So that way when we bring in Liv as a striker, we'll get a little extra damage, not a whole lot. And then we have these Richelieu memories that are actually giving us even more of a heal and a little extra physical damage, which really helps Lucia, even though Lucia does have 20% fire damage, she's 80% physical, so she's still going to benefit from this whenever we bring in B-Liv for her QTE skill. And as far as the weapon on B-Liv, we got this here. This is from a login event. And then we have Nanami. Now, Nanami's memories, you know, I just got all level 1s. I haven't really done anything special with Nanami at all. Single orb increase, skill damage increased by 5%. I mean, there's really not a lot going on here as far as what I've done. You know, we got the 4-piece set here. Physical and elemental damage increased by 5%. This is a nice little set to help with Lucia, again, because she does deal some element and some physical damage. But, I mean, it's not the optimal set by any means. I'm just using what the game has gave me. And just to let you all know, I actually ended up recycling a bunch of memories that I shouldn't have by accident. So it pretty much screwed me on a lot of the memories I have. It's a really noob mistake, but it's a mistake that I won't make again. Make sure that you do lock the ones that you want to make sure you don't recycle. And as far as her weapon, we do have this one here from a login event, and that's pretty much it. My Lucia and B are at S rank, and then Nanami is at A rank. You can farm for the shards in the game. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up that run that I did, and I'm just going to let you guys watch it. I'll just let you guys watch my facial expression and my reaction at the end of the fight after I win this, because this was the very first time that I was able to beat this thing. So let's do it. So I know I flipped my lid quite a bit there, but that's because I spent about 2 hours trying to do that clear. Nonetheless, with this thing right here, I was not used to using a controller at all, you know, trying to use the joystick to move the camera around. And that's really important when you're fighting these bosses, man. Sometimes because when you have multiple enemies you're fighting, you really need to move that camera to where you're facing your enemy. So that really came in handy when it came to using this joystick. I found it a lot easier to actually move the camera around using a joystick instead of on my phone, but everything else was much harder because I'm trying to remember what button is for what orb on the screen. You know, still really new to this and trying to get used to it, but really proud of it. And I know my gameplay wasn't perfect. I could have dodged a little bit better. I should have been switching my characters more often. I could have been doing a lot more damage, could have been a lot smoother gameplay. I realized that, but I was just happy to be able to do it for the first time and just share this run with all of you and with a completely free-to-play team, right? Completely free-to-play setups, the whole thing. So all of you out there that are playing the game, you can do this completely free to play. I mean, so far this game has just absolutely been amazing. And I really am loving playing on the emulator because now I got this nice big screen. I can see everything that's going on. So there's a lot less excuses for me screwing up, right? And I like that. I like holding myself accountable when I'm not playing that well. So that way I can improve my gameplay even more, right? Because when you have excuses, you start blaming all that instead of blaming yourself, and that's what it takes sometimes to actually get better. So let me know how you're all doing in Memory Rescue. Let me know how you're all doing in the game, and if you are interested in playing on Mumu Play, the link will be down in the description below. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.